Season 7 is one of the most underrated seasons in the history of the Thomas franchise. As my third favourite season of all time, there is a lot to like about it. One of the best aspects of it are the new characters. There are 5: Emily, Murdoch, Arthur, Spencer, and Fergus. These characters are all very well written, to varying degrees. Some lasted long into the franchise, others served their purpose well in that season alone. Arthur, however, was executed in a unique way. He only has 2 episodes, which focus on Thomas as well as himself, and he doesn't have much personality. Yet his introduction was really effective, and his role in the season was very clever. My name is the Yellow Striker, and today I'm going to analyse why Arthur is such an underrated character. Let's get into it. Arthur's first episode, The Spotless Record, is fantastic. Not because of how much development Arthur gets, but how he is used to show a new side of Thomas. When he comes to Sodor, he is sent to the shunting yards, where he sees Thomas misbehaving. He refuses to join in, but in a humble manner. That's a big difference to the 2 characters who were introduced before him. We've seen Emily and Fergus scold engines who misbehave. They're both quite strict, and they don't hesitate to chew out any bad seeds. Arthur, on the other hand, simply watches Thomas being stupid, but when offered to be stupid himself, he just smiles and says no thanks, as he doesn't want to break his spotless record. Normally, I would fall asleep. Arthur isn't interesting at all, he's just a simple goody two-shoes. But I don't, because of what happens next. When Arthur is shunting a goods train, Thomas plays a mean trick on him, which results in Arthur crashing and ruining his aforementioned spotless record. At first, Arthur is in trouble, but when Thomas sees what has happened, he tells the Fat Controller that it was his fault, saving Arthur's record. This episode shows how much Thomas has developed in the last 7 seasons. He still misbehaves, but when his flaws get someone else in trouble, he feels bad and helps out. In Season 1, I doubt he would do that. He would more than likely just snicker as Arthur gets told off. We also see that Arthur is so devoted to his spotless record that he refuses to do any wrong and is genuinely upset at having a small accident. That's not all though. Something Fishy, quite a nostalgic episode for me, is like the flip side of Spotless Record. It focuses on Arthur, but uses Thomas's character to do so. At the start of the episode, we see a new side of Arthur. He discovers the Norrumby fishing village and takes a liking to it. That's interesting, because most of the other engines, such as James, Gordon, and especially Thomas, hate the smell of fish. Soon after, the Fat Controller is in search of an engine to run a new line at the fishing village, and Arthur wants to be chosen, but he doesn't say anything, resulting in Thomas being picked, to both engines' dismay. Thomas complains about his bad luck to Arthur later that day, and Arthur is jealous. However, when Thomas has a crash, Arthur rushes to help by delivering the fish just in time. When Thomas realises that Arthur enjoyed working with the fish, he desperately urges Arthur to tell Sir Topham Hatt and explains that he hates fish. This time, Arthur asks the Fat Controller for the job and his wish is granted. That says a lot about Arthur's character. He really wants the line at the fishing village, but he never asks for it despite the convenience. He just does what he's told and he never disobeys orders. This episode added a lot more to his character, and using Thomas's hatred of fish from Season 5 was a perfect choice. This is why I adore Season 7. It's perhaps the best character-driven season in the show, dealing with characters both old and new at the same time and creating plenty of clever arcs along the way. And even though this is the end of Arthur's arc, he isn't completely forgotten. The Season 8 episode Fish, though not too masterful on the writing front, is great at using Thomas's dynamic with Arthur to tell its story. We also see Arthur hauling fish trucks in Season 11, nice little detail. In conclusion, Arthur's 2-episode long arc was genius. Even though he doesn't have as much character as the likes of Spencer, the writers made a great decision to pair him with Thomas. In one episode, Arthur is used to show Thomas's character, and in the other, Thomas is used to show Arthur's character. Season 7 did a great job at handling Thomas's character, and Arthur's episodes are a good example of this. That's all for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed my points on Arthur and his friendship with Thomas. Thank you all for watching. Slán go fóill.